afternoon to YouTube. Tool review time. I picked this up ages ago when I was in the States. Went to Harbor Freight and got this Hercules universal bandsaw stand, and I'm gonna open it up today. This thing, I probably had this 3 or 4 months now, so let's maybe set it up because I'm doing a lot of rearranging on the tables. So I got my bandsaw in here, and we'll open that up and see what we got. This thumb. Oh boy, that's heavy. Ow, that hurts. Okay, that's why that was. As I explained in some other videos, I injured my thumb pretty bad with a router a couple weeks ago. It looks like the fingernail's gonna grow back, so I'll consider myself fortunate with that one. Where does this thing go? It's really hard to do things with like one thumb, man. Tool review time. Where does this go? Okay, way back here. There it is. That's it. Okay. So here's what comes in the 4 packages you get. A ton of brackets and all the Allen keys. Everything's got an Allen key. The instructions seem fairly straightforward. They have instructions for each type of saw since it's universal. So I've got to deal with the Milwaukee version here. And we'll kind of go through attaching the Milwaukee saw to this. If I can get my thing here. So kind of going through this. I'll probably have to do a lot of editing on this video to make it not 4 hours long, but upon first inspection, it seems pretty cool. Like the quality seems decent. I know is it Portaband brand, and I think they were to cost me like $600 Canadian or something. It's just wild. I'm sure that it's nice and all that stuff, but this was 120 US. So call it 170 Canadian or whatever it is, and to be able to turn this into like a portable chop saw and skill saw, that's an easy investment. So let's get this saw attached and maybe put it through some of the test paces here. I've got a fairly minimal use Milwaukee deep cut bandsaw. It's the newer version, Gen 2, and it's nice. I really like it. It's a really nice tool. It's not as heavy as the other one. The other one was really heavy, but still, this is a 2-hand operation saw. But this one's much nicer than the first model. So it does say we got to remove the handle on this saw. There's a Torx bit in there. Now the other thing, here's what I'm. Ooh. Oh hi! I got really close to the camera. It looks like the instructions here are for. Is that the old model? Does it matter? Shit. Uh-oh. Oh, this could be bad. It's universal, right? All right, I'm going to figure this out. Oh, boy. Houston, we have a major problem. So just like everything in life at this point, things don't work. So I think I have a solution. Let's fix that camera. So if you've got the new model Milwaukee cordless chainsaw, bandsaw, the 292920 model, it does not fit this. It can fit in the hole, but they don't give you any kind of bracket to attach to stand here. It's a little janky at the back, wedging this in place, but that should hold. In the instructions, they want you to use this model. In all the other models, this handle knob here is removable. That's not the case here. Usually there's a bolt here to remove it. This is just one solid piece. It's actually part of the molded plastic of the saw. So we can't remove that, obviously. So we're gonna have to come up with a solution. And the solution I have, it's gonna be, I don't know if it'll be janky, but it should work. I'm gonna get this saw, we'll get it lined up where the blade is kinda flush there. And I'm gonna get a piece of angle channel, and I'm gonna use these factory screws here. There's one on this side over here, and then this one here. And I'm just gonna drill through a piece of aluminum up here and then bolt into here. So a 90-degree angle from each side, and it should lock this saw in place. I'll make it so it can slide one way or the other. This should be a fairly tight hole and go there. So once I get this saw lined up, I should lock this in place. This should be solid, and then I have no idea what's going to happen with this trigger here, but I'm sure my little pea brain can come up with something. I did it. So you can make the new Gen 2 Milwaukee cordless bandsaw fit in this Hercules portable bandsaw stand. So there are things that need to be done. I couldn't use, like I was saying, I couldn't use these brackets, so I made my own. I found some extrusions here that I have sitting around, and I made a 90-degree extrusion. They're approximately 2 3/4-ish tall. This is like a 1 5/8 or whatever now, leg this way. And I just kind of measured and lined up where the holes are. There's factory holes in... zoom in here. These factory holes here. So I took the Torx bits out of there. They just clamp the two sides together, and I just made a measurement for that. And then because I got fancy, I just sanded and made a little contour of this, and a racetrack oval there. And there's lateral movement in this, and this will lock it in place here. And then same with the other side. I'm going to take this off and shave all this down, and I'm going to paint them black because why not at this point? So you can make your own for basically damn near $0 and make this thing work. And as far as the trigger, it does work. I ended up, it's awkward to get in there, but I used the 3rd hole on this, and I'm able to get good speed, fully depressed trigger. And now I'm in the process of trying to square it up. There's a little bit of trickiness here to do that, but it's just fine tuning. So I have not seen anyone post a video for this, so I guess I'm the first. Yay for me. A couple little angle extrusions, and you've got yourself a affordable bandsaw stand. And I haven't looked at how the plate goes on there to make it like a scroll saw or vertical, but not worried about that right now. I know that this works, so yay for me. So I did get it set up. This plate's actually pretty easy. There's just 2 countersunk screws here, and you just extend your guide there and just clamp it tight, and it's just a kind of a friction fit. There's a little movement. I haven't fully cranked it, but technically that's what you need to do. Alrighty folks, that was hours getting this thing set up, but I think I've achieved reasonable success. So here's the final result on these brackets. Paint just was sticking weird to this aluminum. It was anodized. So anyway, but it's on, it's in there. I kind of put some tape on these clamps just to mark it where it fits when and if I remove this bandsaw. I'm not sure how this works if you use their actual brackets, but it was so awkward to get this saw and the blade to not be hitting this way or this way. To square it 90 this way it was challenging, but logical. This way is really challenging with this bandsaw because there's movements that way. But it's in there. The trigger works. I think I ended up having to go to the 2nd thing there. So this still allows me to lock the saw if I want and still get full pressure on the trigger. So I have done a couple test cuts and it does work. So I've got this big piece of aluminum base shoe, and like that's thick aluminum there. So I'll do a cut there and show you, and then I'll also cut a little piece of stainless steel tubing. It's not super thick, but it is stainless steel. So we'll see how this blade holds up, but so far, so good. Alrighty. Take the lock off. Alright. Look at that. This is a big chunk of aluminum, you know, so that's not too bad. That cut's not the greatest. Let's just see what we got here. Actually, that's pretty damn good. Again, this is not like an industrial grade saw here, but like that's pretty 90'd. That's a really good cut there. So there's a little, I don't know if this camera's going to show it, but not a perfect cut this way. There's a little bit, I think this cut is a little off this way, but all in all, it's pretty close. For this type of material, this wouldn't matter. Just with installing base shoe, this is not a, this all gets cladded, but pretty good that way. So this is 90'd. Here is a really good 90. This blade seems there's a bit of deflection. Again, it's not really meant to cut this, but it can. All right, let's try this again. Got a clamp here. Hopefully this works. This is hard to hold, man. Here we go. And with this saw, I've got the auto shut off on it, so that's why it does that. So let's take a look at the cut. Pretty not bad, hey? No burn marks to be seen. Definitely got a little angle to it. That can be fine-tuned. But all in all, it's pretty good. For what I would be cutting, this is much better than using a chop saw or paying a metal shop to cut stainless. So I'd be able to do this on site. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of a wonkiness. It's not actually that bad. Alright, so I just got this set up in scroll saw mode. This is a little wiggly, but really if you're doing a scroll saw, that's not really the end of the world. So let's get this and let's find a thing to cut. What can I cut? Here's a piece of wood. Nice. That's pretty cool. Again, this blade is not meant to do this, but technically it can. So all in all, not too shabby. Final thoughts. Overall happy. You know, for the cost, so we'll make it all relative. The cost of the stand is way less than any kind of competitor out there. At least when I was buying it, I'm not sure what's out there now, but yeah, the 120 US compared to like, you know, 170 Canadian, I guess it cost me compared to the 600 Canadian for the Portaband. I don't know, man. If you're in that, you just get like an actual bandsaw to spend that much on the saw and the stand. It seems silly. So The quality's okay. Maybe it was just the one I got, but this thing is not as stable. I did have to put a washer under this foot here because this base is not flat. Basically, this is a warped piece of metal. That's fine. It is what it is. All in all, works really well. I could probably start fine-tuning this a little bit more, but for the cuts that I'm doing, overall very happy. It is a real pain in the butt to get this saw into place. I'm not sure what it's like if you're using saws that actually fit in the for the brackets they provided, but lining this up and getting it in there was like just getting this handle to lock in place. I get that it's universal, so you're not expecting it to be a plug and play, so you know, I understand that, but I probably spent 2 hours to 3 hours to try to get this to line up, which is just an insane amount of time. Now, if I have to remove it, it just becomes, hopefully it lines up quicker the next time, but it's like you just don't want to ever remove it from the stand just because of the time it takes to put it back. So Humpty Dumpty back together. I guess we'll find out when I need to change this blade, if I can get the blade out. It looks like I can remove the blade without having to take it out of the stand, so that's positive. All in all, yeah, 120 US. Can't really complain on that. So there you go, folks. You can get a Gen 2 Milwaukee bandsaw into a Hercules portaband stand, or portable bandsaw stand, that's what I should say. You're just going to have to make some custom brackets. Maybe Harbor Freight or whoever might take a look at this, and they've come up with a new system that will work. But this is what I had from when I bought it. So hope this video helps and you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.